Arthur Miller is one of the most important American playwrights of the 20th century. Chapter 9 of Theater Histories by Philip B. Zerilli talks about how modern theater mixes realism with new ways of showing what characters think and feel. Miller once said, "The theater is so endlessly fascinating because it's so accidental. It's so much like life." His plays do exactly that. They show ordinary people dealing with big problems in life and society, and they make us think about our own choices and values. Even though Miller's plays show normal people in normal homes, they also extended realism to include the inner operations of the mind. That means he didn't just show what was happening on the outside. He showed what the characters were thinking, what they were feeling, and even their prior memories that had impacted the decisions that they were making right there on the spot. For example, in Death of a Salesman, we see Willy Loman not only talking to his family, but also reliving moments from the past and imagining conversations that never even happened. Mixing real-life details with these inner feelings is what makes Arthur Miller's plays so powerful and different from traditional realist plays. One of Arthur Miller's notable works is Death of a Salesman from 1949. This play follows Willy Loman, an aging salesman who is unhappy with his life. He wants to be successful, but he keeps failing. His wife, Linda, says to him, "So attention must finally be paid to such a person."
So attention must be paid. He's not to be allowed to fall into his grave like an old dog. Attention must finally be paid to such a person. You called him crazy.
I didn't mean...
No. A lot of people think he's lost his balance. Well, you don't have to be very smart to know what his trouble is. The man is exhausted.
That line shows the play's main idea. Even ordinary people deserve respect, and society can and will be unfair. The play also explores the idea of the American dream. Willie believes that being well-liked and personally attractive will bring him success, but reality keeps proving him wrong. Critics say this shows the dangers of measuring a person's worth by social success or money. Miller also uses memory scenes, where Willie remembers the past and mixes it with the present. These shifts show his inner struggles and the way past choices shape current problems. Scholar Brenda Murphy says this creates a fluid reality on stage where audiences can see the psychological depth of his characters. Another interesting point is how Arthur Miller develops Willie's relationships with his sons, Biff and Happy. The tension between them shows generational conflict and the struggle between ideals and realities. Another one of Arthur Miller's works is The Crucible, which is my personal favorite. I remember junior year AP Lang class sitting and our teacher, Mr. Altieri, asking us to volunteer to pick a character to read for, since it was a play. And no one else volunteered beside me. So me and Mr. Altieri had a two-man show. Anyways, this play tells the story of the Salem witch trials, but it's really about the fear of communism in the 1950s. Miller wanted to show how societies can make people turn on each other. He said he used history to talk about what was happening in his own time, showing how fear and suspicion can destroy communities. The play explores themes like mass hysteria, moral courage, personal responsibility, and the consequences of lying or following the crowd. Crowd mentality, to be specific. It's a good example of how Miller's realism includes social critique. Even though the setting is historical, the lessons feel immediate and relevant. Critics note that The Crucible shows how drama can combine historical events with political messages, making audiences think not only about the characters, but also about the society around them. Wow! You might be wondering, what kind of legacy did Arthur Miller leave? Well, Death of a Salesman won the Pulitzer Prize and is still one of the most performed American plays. The Crucible was controversial at first because it's a political message, but now it's a classic. Critics say Miller's work changed American theater because it shows that everyday people in ordinary situations can reveal big social and moral problems. His plays continue to be performed around the world and taught in schools because they speak to universal human struggles, dreams, failures, morality, and how society shapes us as humans. Overall, Arthur Miller shows that theater can be both realistic and thought-provoking. His plays tell stories about normal people, but they also make us think about society and how people deal with certain situations. Miller gives voice to ordinary people, but in doing so, he forces us to notice the society around them, the pressures, the expectations, and the moral choices we all face. That is what makes his theater so powerful and lasting. Something important to me that Arthur Miller said was, "Everything we are is at every moment alive in us." To me, that means that everything that has happened in our life, whether it be good or bad, always shapes us into the person that we are today. Thank you.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York?